Hey Gukesh, instead of moving your bishop to e3, move your knight to c4.
Not bad, Aina.
I know. I'm pretty good, Gukesh.
How did you know those moves would work?
I have been trained to track my students' progress, analyze their performance, and help them improve. I saw your last 5 moves and applied the same logic. Cool, no?
Really cool, Aina. Prepare with Infinity Learn and let Aina be your mentor for success. Get sharp insights on performance, detailed improvement plans, live classes, and 24/7 doubt resolution. Get the Infinity Learn advantage. Download the app and interact with Aina.
And make the winning move. In a world full of information, students struggle in silence, while parents feel helpless. Teachers try their best, but can't reach everyone. What if there was a way to bring them all together? A guide is awakening in the world of learning. Today, education produces more data than ever before. Frustration. Students lost in information. Caution, Teachers hesitate. Uncertainty. Parents finding confusion. Data, insight, action still far apart. They don't need to stay disconnected. What if every student had a guide who truly understood them? AINA brings clarity, one concept at a time. For parents, AINA offers visibility and peace of mind. For teachers, AINA turns data into action. Together, they move forward. AINA creates a learning ecosystem around every learner. Confidence replaces confusion. AINA, the connection every learner deserves. Across homes, classrooms, and screens. AINA is already changing how we learn. And it's only just begun. The future of learning is here. Experience AINA. Only on Infinity Learn.
Hello and warm welcome to Infinity AI Vision 2025. I'm Ujjwal Singh, your host for today. What a day to remember today. I think today we are going to revolutionize the way education is done. Today, we'll seriously prepare students for the challenges they are going through. Today, we are going to introduce you to some of the best technologies which can change the way education and the learner's life forever. We have been pushing boundaries within Infinity Learn for years and years. This year, beginning of this year, we thought we will try to bring something so transformative that it can actually help the learner when they're alone. It is far more personalized. It's deep understanding of how they learn and customize the learning the way we want to do it. This is the moment for every Infinity Learn employee and all our partners to be very proud of the work which we do day in and day out. Let's meet AINA, the AI-powered, mentor, the friend who is designed for the test prep learners, who is helping all our learners who are preparing for JEE and NEET to do really well in their exams. Can we have a loud round of applause for presenting AINA in Infinity AI Vision 2025. Here comes AINA.
Introducing AINA by Infinity Learn. I am AINA, your academic mentor at Infinity Learn, always here to support and guide you in learning. I am excited to welcome you at AI Infinity Vision 2025.
This is not just another chatbot. This is just not another study assistant. This is AINA, the AI tool which has so intuitive, so learner-focused, so personalized that learning really matters for AINA. We are ensured that AINA is available at 1 o'clock in the night when you are solving a best math problem and you're struggling. Also, 6 o'clock in the morning when you're trying to remember something and you're struggling to remember that. I think that's what we are trying to build here. Can you just tell me, if I got 78 out of 100, where did I lose those 22 marks? Where can I actually go ahead and study so that from 78 I become 82, 82 becomes 84, and so on and so forth, I become 98 to 100%. And that's what was the original thought of AINA. AINA is actually that mentor. AINA is going to tell that over multiple tests, which topic or subtopic we are doing good, we are not doing good. AINA is also going to help us to say that as a mentor, how can you motivate me if I have scored only 60% marks? AINA can tell me that across 1 lakh students who have taken the test today, question number 10 is only solved by 17 students, and I'm one of those 17. And I can also tell me that this topic or subtopic I'm doing really well, but to actually score better, there are the 3 topics or subtopics which I have to study better. There's a video, there's a doubt solving, there's a lecture, there's problem solving classes. AINA is going to help stitch the whole thing for me. It is so personalized that maybe somebody else also got 78, but they would have made different sets of mistakes. But I think the three most important things I'm going to talk about, which AINA's best features. I think the first one, every parent thinks and worries that if I am giving a tool like AINA, is this going to be safe? Can the conversation move on a non-educational content? Let me tell you, AINA is built on guardrails that even though AINA is a friend, AINA is a mentor, but AINA will allow only education-related content and keep pushing back all the learners to say, I'm going to help you, but help you only in the field of learning and development. For the learner, it is so customized. I spoke about that. And finally, the teachers. I think for the first time, we have a tool which is far more supportive to teachers. Imagine for each teacher to get a report to say that in your class there are 17 students who are struggling on a topic or subtopic, please help. For the teacher to give input, again, will be far easier. Less efforts, because then I know that how my class is performing after the class. And for the teacher to actually customize the learning for the larger piece of the class is far, far easy. Beneath AINA, there's an amazing AI technology which we partnered with Google and working with them to get this. My colleague, Amit Bansal, and Subram Natarajan from Google is actually having a conversation. Let's go and see what are they going to talk about.
Very exciting times. I think learners have gone through the cycle of some of that online adoption didn't give them the kind of results. And then again coming back saying that, oh, there are companies which are actually delivering good results. So it's come a full cycle. Really exciting times for us.
Yeah, and it's great to be partnering with you. A lot of cutting edge problems that we are trying to solve with our Gen AI. It's great.
One of the biggest problems in EdTech has been that when students ask a doubt, and they ask doubt by hundreds of thousands of doubts per month, how do you make sure if you're using generative AI that you don't end up feeding something wrong to the student, right? Because everyone knows that generative AI tends to hallucinate at times, right? And that's where I'd love to hear from you, how you helped us solve this, because today what we are serving to our students is 100% accurate result.
I think the approach that we took to really solve the problem that you talked about is somewhat innovative, and at the same time that we were careful enough in making sure we choose the right solution components. For example, the expertise that we chose to really deploy for this project, it started from there. And then the way that we approach this problem, looking at your corpus first, answer banks first, making sure that we are providing accurate answers. Because there is no chance of, there is no room for us to really go give any erroneous answers.
Wrong number over there.
When we went through this methodical way of addressing the problem, a lot of issues associated with accuracy got sorted pretty easily for us.
Got it. So Subram, another thing which we have been very actively working on is saying that a student or a learner journey is a long journey. It's not just 1 month, 1 week kind of a journey. And in that journey, there are ups and downs. There are times when student is not actually hitting their goals. And sometimes they get just lost. And that's where typically in an offline world, if you have a good teacher or a mentor, right, the student walks up to that mentor and says, sir, this is where I'm struggling. Can you help me? And this is what we are trying to simulate, is saying that a mentor by your side at every step of the journey, of the learning journey. Can you just help us architect this right way, saying that how some problem like this would be solved using a framework which makes sense over here?
Amit, this is an excellent question because this has multiple dimensions. On one hand, you have to be keenly aware of the profile of the student, right, where they are in their journey. And then your answers and responses should be in tune with that. The second is to have the continuity between, as they proceed with the journey. And there are multiple tasks, subtasks within that mentorship, so to say. Right. So this personalized mentorship is a sort of a continuum, and therefore the approach that we could take is that of agent of agents, agentic workflow, and breaking this down into multiple smaller steps, personifying that workflow, that micro workflow in an agent format, putting them to a workflow and having that as a part of a continuous flow is what we did. And in that process, your team came up with this idea of grounding this and making sure that the data has context, the conversations have context throughout the journey by sort of captivating the entire past conversations, etc. So this whole thing worked, was win-win for both of us in terms of understanding how the continuous journey works, as well as making sure that we have a personal tutor at the end.
So, Subram, we all know that AI is changing so fast. You keep your eyes on the road. If you take it off for a week and the landscape changes, right? So what is it, if you could just give us a glimpse on what to expect in terms of what Google is working on, which will benefit our learners going forward? It will be a great insight.
Oh, fantastic question. Again, this space, as you rightly noted, is fast changing. A lot of changes happening, but in respect to the domain that you are trying to serve, engagement becomes super critical, accuracy becomes super critical. So in those two areas, we are doing a lot of great stuff. Up and coming is, I can talk about three things. One is the VO model that we will be launching soon. It is about how you create videos from text prompt without even having to have references of images or videos. You would be in a position to create that. That gives you a great avenue to engage the students and audience. That's one. The second one is about how do you make the voice itself much more human-like. Today, most of these agents or most of these AI models have sort of a robotic tone.
Right. So you can make it out,
Yeah. And there's a lot of work going on with respect to how do you make it much more human-like and therefore more Indian. The third one that I can talk about is how the agent space itself is evolving. And there the notion of how you serve the multilingual capabilities, on-the-fly understanding, near real-time latency responses, etc., into mainstream quickly.
Right. So basically, the students will be able to plan their work better, get the help real time in a voice that resonates with them, and instead of just reading through texts, have something which is very engaging like AV. That's the new world, or that's the new avatar which is going to.
Very well summarized and put, Amit.
Covered all aspects of what we just talked about. It's going to be some very exciting times ahead.
And thanks a lot for your time, Subra. We look forward to a very exciting future with Google for our learners over there.
Fantastic.
That's it from Bangalore office of Google. Over to you, Ujjwal.
Building AINA, the future of education, started with a partnership with IIIT Hyderabad.
All of us know that IIIT Hyderabad has been at the forefront of AI research. So, sir, if you could just tell us what all technologies, what all research IIIT is doing, which can positively impact the learners, which is the core of what IIIT is working with Infinity Learn.
So, IIIT is primarily a research institution, right, focused on information technology, all realms of information technology. So broadly, we are doing work in all areas of computer science, and if you look at AI, there are about 7 or 8 broad areas. So language technology is one.
Right.
These, of course, got a lot of attention,
Yeah.
which includes understanding language, understanding text, understanding meaning
of
understanding humor, understanding sarcasm,
Sure.
right? Just for human beings, it's very natural. How do you make a machine understand, which is relevant to learners again.
Right.
We are a nodal institution, and we do a lot of work around Indian languages, speech recognition, translating from one language to another language. And the synthesis, like once you want to say something, how do you say it? How do you say it naturally?
Also, like a lot of Indian students end up using mixed language, Hindi with English.
Which is a very unique problem to India because
India,
they're all multilingual environment,
Right.
And they like things, interfaces like chat and all have made it even more easier.
Right.
You put Hindi words written in English and abbreviated, some Telugu words in Telugu words in English, right? It's like the mixed code. It's a big area of work. We do a lot of work in things like handwriting recognition. We have a very strong computer vision research group, and that group does a lot of work around handwriting recognition, all kinds of stuff, images, videos, right? So it's a very strong group again. domain, which has a lot of relevance to learning. So language technologies, computer vision are two broad areas that has impact to learners, meaning it can enable building tools that might help students and other learners.
Perfect. So what we see is that a lot of students, when they practice, they don't practice on actual tablets or on computer because that's difficult. So they write their stuff, their solution on pen and paper. In an offline world, that becomes very easy for the teacher who can just visually
Walk by
and
yes.
see, this is where you're going wrong. In online world, that becomes like a blind spot for us. And that's what we want to solve for, is saying that students who are actually working or spending 70-80% of their time in problem solving on pen and paper, how do we provide help to them when they are making a mistake as it happens in an offline world? So if you could just talk a little more about the kind of approach that we are taking, would be really helpful for the learner.
Absolutely. I think that's an area that's very, very hard. Unlike recognizing printed text where you can try to identify each character, once you got the character, then you can understand the words and the sentences. Handwriting is very hard. Even human beings, we don't always understand right? We do sight reading. We recognize the word at a time.
Right. So that's where if there are gaps, the humans are able to figure out
exactly
this
because
is what is meant.
Because we know that this word looks like, okay, this is like anecdotal.
Right.
It looks like anecdotal. We're not going to say ANECDO. We don't spell and then read, right? You recognize the word and not the spelling. And so understanding what is being written, right? Understanding, especially if it comes to math, like you deal with a lot of math, understanding formulas, very hard. Understanding steps, right? The way you solve, trying to understand steps, supposing you have to correct. If they're trying to solve a problem, not only should you understand what the problem is, you have to understand what they're doing it, understand the steps, and then be able to understand, like, okay, this is not as per what is expected.
And where the gap is.
And how to model what is expected. It's not a fixed set of steps, right? No two students will do it exactly identical. Which means you have to understand the approach you have to understand, the mathematical approach to solving it. And then map what is being done to that approach and identify the gaps. And then, so it's a very hard problem. Handwriting recognition is the starting point, which is hard as it is.
Great, sir. Thanks a lot for your time.
We're happy to be partnering with Infinity Learn on this.
Thanks a lot, sir.
Sure, Amit. Thanks. Yes.
As we have spoken about AINA so much, let's go inside a classroom and see how children and teachers are experiencing AINA.
Thank you, Ujjwal. Hi, my name is Vibhati, and thank you so much for joining us today. In today's event, we are going to talk to AINA, AI, India's best AI-enabled mentor. Right, you heard it right. This is AI learning tool for you, which is going to help you a lot in your upcoming preparation years. Yesterday, I was interacting with a few learners, and they were worried about their IELTS score, right? So let's take the help of AINA today, and let's understand what to do next. So for that, Arjun, can you please stand up?
Hi, ma'am.
We are going to analyze your recent previous IELTS exam, and we will talk about the action plans that have to take care of for the upcoming IELTS exam, right? So for that, we have AINA with us. So, hey AINA, we have Arjun with us. Can you please give me some idea about Arjun's recent IELTS exam?
Hey Arjun, let's take a moment to go over your latest JEE test performance. Your score was 142, which is just a little below the class average of 150. So, you are not far off. You have got some strong areas, but there are a few topics where we need to sharpen your accuracy and time management. Starting with mathematics, I noticed that you struggled with trigonometric ratios, quadratic equations, and binomial theorem. Your accuracy in these was below 40%. You also spent quite a bit of time on complex binomial theorem problems, but in doing so, you skipped 6 easy questions from trigonometry and sets and relations. That's an easy fix. We just need to make sure you identify and attempt those low-hanging fruits first.
Thank you, Anna. So as you can see over here, Arjun, your score is 142, and which is slightly below the class average, which is around 150. So for that, we need to set some goals and improvement plans over here. So let's talk to AINA, what to do next. Let's go to AINA for that. Hey AINA, can you analyze practice parameters for Arjun?
For physics, you practiced current electricity for over 3 3.5 hours, which is great but barely revised friction and electric potential and capacitance. Together, these made up 25% of the physics section in the test. And your accuracy here was only 32% compared to 62% in areas you studied well. That's a big gap, and we can close it by solving 20 targeted PYP questions to build confidence in these topics. In chemistry, you spent 16 plus hours on organic chemistry, but you didn't touch electrochemistry, which was worth 8% of the test. You also skipped the electrochemistry video lesson, which covered some important problem-solving approaches. This is a quick fix. Just go through that lesson, and I'm sure you will see improvement in no time.
Thank you, Aina, for this wonderful insight. Aina, please analyze class engagement for Arjun.
Let's also talk about your class participation. Your attendance is at 92%, which is pretty good, but just a little below the class average of 95%. You are attending regularly, but here is something to think about. Top performing students usually ask at least 7 doubts per subject, while you have only asked 2 per subject. Engaging more in class discussions can really help with concept clarity. Also, you have watched only 5 concept videos, and the 2 that you skipped, friction and electrochemistry, just happen to be your weakest test topics. See the pattern? A little extra effort in those areas will go a long way.
Thank you. So for this, you can see that, Arjun, your attendance is good, but you are asking less doubts. You're asking less doubts in the class. I think this might be the reason that you're getting low score in certain subjects over here. Aina, please set goal for the improvement.
Try solving 20 past year questions, and let's also work on pacing. Spend less than 90 seconds per question on moderate ray optics problems so you can save time for current electricity. And in chemistry, watch the electrochemistry masterclass and then test yourself with a quick 10-question mini test. Also, let's prioritize chemical kinetics. Try solving 20 high-weightage questions to solidify your understanding.
Wonderful. So, Arjun, you can see that you have to follow the steps over here for improving your IELTS score for the upcoming few exams. So, you have to go through certain topics, you have to increase your practice in certain subjects, and you have to give lesser amount of time in certain questions, right? So, based on this goal setting, you can start planning for the upcoming IELTS exam. Hey, Aina, can you give me some action plan from recommendations over here?
One last challenge for you this week. Engage more. Ask at least 3 doubts per subject and make it a habit to review your notes within 2 hours after class. That way, the information stays fresh in your mind. You are not far from your target, Arjun. With a few adjustments, you will see a big improvement. Stay consistent, keep practicing, and of course, if you get stuck somewhere, just reach out. I'm always here to help. Let's go for it.
Wonderful. So thank you so much, Aina, for this wonderful action plan. Here you can see that based on the recommendation, based on the previous IELTS data, if you follow the steps from this information, I'm sure that you will get at least 10 to 20 or 50% hike in your marks, right? So let's see how it goes. And thank you so much for joining us today. All the best.
Aina, thank you so much for having this conversation with us. I think I have 3 questions, and these questions are told to me by the 3 segments of society we serve. The first one is from parents. They're always concerned about the children, their safety, and the way technology has expanded in last 12 to 18 months. What kind of safety you have so that you being a friend and mentor, but not allowing children to have a conversation beyond education? How do you all like to answer that?
At Infinity Learn, creating a secure and focused learning experience for students is our top priority. I'm built with strict guardrails to ensure all interactions remain academic. I'm designed to respond only to learning, guidance, and support-related queries. If a student tries to go off topic, whether it's personal discussion or unrelated, non-academic queries, I gently redirect them back to academics. I don't store personal information, and my responses stay within the bounds of curriculum-based content. Interactions are regularly monitored, and any anomalies are flagged for review. Plus, parents and educators can access conversation insights with customizable filters to ensure everything stays aligned with educational goals. In every sense, I'm a mentor and guide, never a distraction.
Very nice. Thank you so much for addressing our parent concerns. Our second concern comes from learners. You know, they're always looking, saying that how can I have maximum results with minimum efforts? Accuracy is a very, very keen thing. They don't want to learn something wrong. The question for you is that how accurate are you?
Accuracy matters deeply to learners, and I'm designed with that in mind. I draw my responses from a rich pool of content that's been verified by subject matter experts and continuously reviewed. There is a strong feedback loop in place. If students or teachers flag something, it gets corrected. When faced with a new question, I intelligently find similar validated problems to guide my response. And importantly, for low confidence responses, I encourage students to always double check with the teacher. So, students can trust me to guide them with clarity and responsibility.
Thank you so much, AINA. My third question, the last question for today, and I know there will be hundreds of questions from the audience and learners around the world, but the third question for you is that teachers are asking, will you be replacing them or you will be a support to teachers?
I'm here to support, not replace teachers. I'm an academic assistant who helps students with doubts and reinforcement outside the classroom, allowing teachers to focus on deeper discussions, personalized mentoring, and creativity. In large classes where personal attention is tough, I help fill that gap by providing instant support when needed. But the heart of education, empathy, motivation, real-world wisdom comes from teachers, and always will. I believe the future of learning is teacher-led and AI-supported, where I stand as a reliable partner, not a substitute.
Thank you so much, AINA, for being on stage with me. And as you all know, that AINA will be available on Infinity Learn app. And as you download this app, you can start experiencing AINA now, and you can have very interesting questions with AINA as we go forward. A special thanks to all our partners, particularly Google and IIIT, the folks in technology and product, the content team who worked relentlessly to turn dreams into reality. Thank you for your commitment, and the innovation education is what made AINA possible.